ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। अष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतेरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Yes, so we're reading from Sri Valmiki Ramayana, Canto 1 Summary. The sunless king, having attained excellent sons, immersed in an ocean of delight, did not know any other duty like a poverty-stricken man after attaining a treasure. All of the citizens, protected by the caretaker of the citizens like his own sons, understood that he now had sons and rejoiced in every house. At this time, there was an unprecedented great festival in Ayodhya. Dasharatha's servants danced and sang in joy. The moon of the faces of the sons brought delight to the lotus ponds of the queens and quickly brought about fulfillment of the ocean of the desire of the king. Having purified himself, the king approached his newly born sons and before anyone else touched them, placed his priest Vasishta in front and performed the Jata Karma ceremony. Just as the blessings pronounced upon the children by the Brahmanas were unlimited, the wealth given in charity by the king to the Brahminical community was unlimited. Then the king, along with his well-wishers, the Brahmanas reciting the Vedas, gave a name to Lord Narayana of unlimited names. Rama got the name Rama because of being very pleasing to all, or because of being self-satisfied, or because the Lord was dark green as an emerald. So Rama has three meanings: very pleasing to all, self-satisfied, or because of his dark green color as an emerald. Saintly more persons know him to be Rama because of his eternal intimate relationship with Rama, or because he possesses liberality and the goddess of fortune, or else because of charming the hearts of women. Uh, by rules of Sanskrit grammar, Ra can indicate Dana and Ma can indicate referring to Mother Lakshmi, goddess of fortune. So Rama also means um, one who possesses liberality and goddess of fortune, or because of his internal eternal intimate relationship with Rama, or because of charming the hearts of women. So many reasons why for the name Rama. In this world, the elder son of Sumitra, endowed with characteristic qualities of a sadhu, was named Lakshmana. The younger son of Sumitra was considered Shatrughna. Saintly authorities state Kaikeyi's son to be Bharata, the one filled with auspicious qualities. Thus, those boys with the splendor of the commander-in-chief of the demigods got their respective names. The king also had Annaprashana and other samskaras performed for his beloved sons by Brahmanas experienced in the Vedas. Initiated and disciplined, they learned the Veda along with the Vedangas, the usage of all weapons and the arts pertaining to Dhanur Veda. They were peaceful, sense-controlled, valorous, splendorous, superior with appropriate qualifications, shy of sinful activities and famous. Those gods on earth were like their father's life heirs, their guru's servants, the world's presiding deities, and their mother's children. Lakshmana did not leave his worshipable elder brother Lord Hari even when he was sleeping, sitting, standing, going somewhere, playing, or preparing to do something. Likewise, Shatrughna did not leave his elder brother Bharata. By his playful sports, beautiful smiles, the outer corners of his eyes that resembled bumblebees, speech that stole the heart of the goddess of speech herself, the master of Lakshmi in the form of Lord Rama, who possessed very auspicious limbs, caused his family members to attain delight. So Rama's qualities: playful sports, beautiful smiles, outer corners of his eyes that resembled bumblebees, speech that stole the heart of the goddess of speech herself, master of Lakshmi in the form of Lord Rama. Then, being affectionate to his sons, the emperor King Dasharatha, along with his ministers, considered getting his sons married. Like the final conclusion of an unaccomplished task, Vishwamitra, the friend of saints, was then seen in that royal assembly by the king, who contemplated on getting his sons married. So Vishwamitra came. Pleased to see the best of sages, the king got up from his seat and, along with Vasishtha, respectfully gave him an exalted seat, ceremonially worshipped him, and said this: O Lord, devotees of the Supreme Person of Godhead are naturally complete. Still, for our benefit, we will carry out any activity desired by you. Indeed, those who have accepted Narayana as their goal in life, desiring to attain the blessings of his devotees, wander in the world not for their sake, like illuminating suns. Hmm. See, those who have accepted Narayana as their goal in life, desiring to attain the blessings of his devotees, wander in the world preaching. Basically, that's what it means. Upon hearing the words of the king, the Brahmana Vishwamitra replied, These words spoken by you, a great soul of a great dynasty, is appropriate. My fire sacrifices have been repeatedly destroyed by two very cruel Rakshasas. Desirous of protecting those sacrifices, I have taken shelter of you. Even my curse on them, who cannot be killed by the benedictions of Brahma and Shiva, and who are offenders of saints, would be rendered useless like fire on lakes. And so even Vishwamitra's curse did not work on them. Quickly engage your eldest and best son, the lotus-eyed Rama, to kill them. Your ultimate good is assured. O king, I know your son's prowess that can be known from the Vedas, prowess that cannot be countered by the Suras or Asuras. Your Brahmanas, Vashishta and others also know about his prowess. Hearing these words of Vishwamitra, the king, terrified in apprehension of the fire of separation from his son, fainted. Having gained his consciousness in a muhurta, the king again, and in pain, sighed deeply and very piteously told the best of sages, Please do not take my son Rama, a very tender boy who increases our happiness, who has no knowledge of war or weaponry, having suffered for 9,000 years with desire for sons, O sage. I am now delighted by the moon-like face of Rama. I cannot tolerate being without him even for a moment, just as I cannot tolerate being without my life heirs. O Brahmana, therefore may Rama not be taken. Take me, an expert winner of wars many a time, along with my army of 4 divisions, in order to battle these mystic Rakshasas. If Rakshasas take shelter of Ravana and attack you, all of us would be destroyed. The entire world will be topsy-turvy. Why should we get into a whimsical quarrel with Ravana, by hearing whose name the demigods, including Indra, run away in fright? Please consider this too. This body is maintained by me, a Kshatriya Bandhu, in order to protect cows and Brahmanas. Therefore, as long as my life heirs are in this body, I will fight your enemies. The fire in the form of the ascetic Vishwamitra that had been burning in the past with the fuel of the dry wood in the form of offenses committed by the Rakshasas burnt even more fiercely by the clarified butter in the form of Dasharatha's words. Full poetry. So basically, Vishwamitra was already angry, burning, uh, because of the offenses committed by Rakshasas. Now, Dasharatha's words were like clarified butter onto that fire, meaning because he was not willing to send Rama, Vishwamitra's anger increased. Noticing the sage Vishwamitra's swelling of anger, Vashishta told the king, O king, it was firmly promised by you, I will certainly do whatever you desire. O descendant of Raghu, Having promised a dharmika person who has requested help, a vipra, a brahmana engaged in Vedic studies, a person desirous of engaging in yagna, and a devotee of Lord Vishnu, you should not undo it. Hmm. Indeed, the great glory of this son of yours, by which, when angered, he can burn the 14 worlds, is concealed. Vishwamitra, also powerful great devotee of Lord Narayana, will provide assistance to your son, though he is himself capable. Vishwamitra, former great chariot fighter, is experienced in the use of the 100 weapons previously produced by Jaya and Suprabha, the daughters of Daksha, and more. Therefore, O Emperor, Rama should go with the sage. The Rakshasas should be killed. The performance of fire sacrifices should be protected. Upon hearing Vasishta's words, Dasharatha, the descendant of Raghu, became very happy, offered Rama and Lakshmana to Vishwamitra and sent them off. See, this is so nice. Though Dasharatha was initially not willing to send his sons, his gurus told him to send, and he just became very happy and sent them off. With bows on their strong arms, talking auspiciously to each other, equipped with quivers, those two heroes, despite being youths, followed the sage, smiling pleasantly. Upon seeing them following Vishwamitra like the immortal Indra and Vishnu following Brihaspati, the citizens of Ayodhya became delighted. Having proceeded for more than half a yojana on the pathway, Vishwamitra, the best of the knowers of those paths, spoke the following to Lord Keshava on the southern bank of the Sarayu. Dear child, I will utter the mantras Bala and Atibala, which were originally taught by Brahma, which pacify hunger, thirst, and so on, and which provide all desirables. The omniscient and his desires are always fulfilled. As the teacher of civilized behavior, the descendant of Raghu listened to the two mantras from the best of the Brahmanas who had spoken thus. So he gets the two mantras. Honored by the sage, Princes Rama and Lakshmana comfortably and happily passed that night on the bank of the river Sarayu. Then, having performed their Sandhya rites at dawn, those effulgent ones went to the ashrama dear to Kamadeva at the confluence of the Sarayu and Ganga. They stayed for that night in that place where Kamadeva became devoid of a body because of the flames from the third eye of Lord Shiva. So that place is an ashrama at the confluence of Sarayu and Ganga. The next day, with great wonder, great sages worshipped Lord Hari, who had arrived there bearing the name Rama. Seeing the face of the descendant of Raghu, the humble sages were pleased, thinking, today is an auspicious day for us, and happily executed their Sandhya worship in the Lord's very presence. Climbing onto a boat nearby, the two princes and the sages crossed the roaring waters of the Ganga through the waters of the Sarayu. Then, noticing a terrible forest while passing, Raghava asked, O tiger among sages, whose terrible forest is this? Being thus addressed, the Brahmana Vishwamitra said, O Rama, these districts were formerly Malada and Karusha, prosperous by Indra's blessings. Tataka, the daughter of a Yaksha named Suketu, had formerly become unplayable with the strength of 10,000 elephants by Lord Brahma's benediction. That wife of Sunda and mother of Maricha attained the nature of a Rakshasi along with her son and mercilessly ate humans here, O respectable one. Look at these skulls and bones of cows and brahmanas, very rarely seen by persons like you. What do you think? So, Tataka, daughter of Suketu, so she had got strength of 10,000 elephants by Brahma's benediction. She was the wife of Sunda and mother of Maricha. and she was man-eater. When Vishwamitra, the one dear to the sages, said this and became quiet like a sage, he entered the residence of Tataka, a forest, with Rama and Lakshmana. When Rama, the best of bowmen, twanged his bow, that sound like a spark of fire scorched Tataka's ear hole for a moment. Even before deer, birds, and other creatures in the forest, terrified by the sound, woke up, that Rakshasi got up and came in front of Rama. Despite seeing her with a large body and great prowess, her mouth wide open like a great cave, and her hands stretched, Rama stood undisturbed, repeatedly sounding an uproar with extreme force, like that of a hurricane that Rakshasi showered a rain of dust upon that prince. Then, upon seeing that mystic Tataka showering stones, the Lord, who has Garuda on his flag, cut her two terrible hands with his arrows. Her lips and nose cut by Lakshmana, the son of Sumitra, that enemy of the saints who could assume any form she liked, disappeared and threw a shower of weapons. Then the sage told Rama, who was embarrassed to have to kill a woman, "O child, this Rakshasi is a killer of saints. Kill her, kill her." Within a moment and effortlessly, the wielder of the disc Sudarshana put her, who had surrounded him in circles, in a bed of arrows. Noticing her approaching him, desiring to bestow the path of Bhagavad Dharma to his devotees, the Supreme Personality of Godhead split asunder Tataka's heart with an arrow by his own expertise. And he just very easily killed her, saying, all glories, our obeisances unto you, the Master of the worlds. May this seed of victory become a desired tree. The delighted demigod showered flowers upon Lord Rama's head. Greatly honored by the sage, the Lord of the universe, along with his younger brother, passed that night there. At early morning, he carried out his prescribed duties of Sandhya. The sage privately gave Rama all weapons, the weapon of Vishnu, Brahma, as well as those of Shiva, Agni, and others. Considering it his duty, the sage Vishwamitra also taught the omniscient maintainer of the universe the means to withdraw them and gave him weapons that caused the opponents to yawn. Brahma and other controlling deities of those weapons surrounded him, who is understood by realized saints, and with their palms joined in submission, spoke thus: "O Master, we are but your servants." The great soul Lakshmana, the son of Sumitra, and the killer of his enemies, also obtained from Vishwamitra all of the great weapons such as those of Brahma. So both of them got weapons. Permitting those controlling deities to depart until he needed them, the omniscient descendant of Kakutstha proceeded on the way, and upon seeing an ashrama nearby, asked the Brahmana, "What is this place?" Vishwamitra, the son of Gadhi, told him, "Dear child, this great ashrama was formerly occupied by the greatly powerful Lord Vishnu himself in the form of Vamana. Many saints engaged in austerities here have attained the perfection of their austerities. Therefore, it attained the name Siddhashrama, the ashrama of the perfected ones. For Lord Adokshaja is the giver of that perfection. Lord Hari, besieged here by the demigods, terrified by Bali's power and by the austerities of Kashyapa, then became Aditi's son. Lord Vamana of lovely eyes, certainly an opponent of the enemies of the demigods, apparently begged for 3 steps of land from Bali as a pastime. As soon as the world containing the 3 planetary systems was given by Bali, the Supreme Person of Godhead, the smallest of the small, became the greatest of the great. This is the astonishingly powerful ashrama of that Lord Trivikrama. I and other sages reside here, O greatly intelligent Rama. Talking thus, the sage and the princess, while engaging in auspicious talks, entered that ashrama. A festival overtook the eyes of the sages there while the sun entered the ocean. Then, along with the 7 sages, Vishwamitra inaugurated a 6-day yagna on the order of Rama, the lord of Kosala. Then, when the most glorious sixth day of the best of fire sacrifices had begun, the entire sacrificial ground blazed in fire, and there was a great sound of loud crying. Upon hearing a confused noise from the sky and noticing two shameless Rakshasas, Lord Rama said, Lakshmana, get ready, and took his bow. Before those Rakshasas could pollute the sacrifice with blood, fat, and other bodily secretions, the Lord of Sacrifice released a dreadful arrow at them. Having been thrown over 100 yojanas by the prowess of the arrow released by Rama, Maricha thought, I am dead,
Mhm.
and dove into the ocean of salt water. Then, taking another arrow, blazing like fire, he sent the great armed Subhahu to the home of Yamaraja, meaning killed him. Then Lord Rama severed the heads of the meat eaters with his bows as if they were ripened fruits of the thala trees, meaning there are other Rakshasas also, and they were killed. Some of the Rakshasas ran away just by seeing his prowess. After completing the sacrifice, the sage Vishwamitra, surrounded by the Brahminical community, offered Lord Rama abundant blessings and greatly glorified him. When the night had ended, in the assembly of sages, the king of sages told Lord Madhusudana and his younger brother these sweet words: O Rama, an excellent Swayamvara for the daughter of Janaka has been announced on earth. All are going to Videha eager to see the great festival. O prince, of course, kings are going to that Swayamvara desiring her. We will go and see the great festival there. Having spoken thus, the excellent sage, surrounded by the sages, and with Rama and Lakshmana, went to the sacred northern region. Upon reaching the edge of Shona, the king of rivers, the great sage camped there for the night along with his disciples, as well as Rama and Lakshmana, showing Lord Rama the places formerly belonging to Kushika's sons. The ascetic spoke about those worth speaking about. Vishwamitra, a descendant of Kusha, described his birth from the king of great strength named Gadhi, the son of Kushanaba. So Vishwamitra talks about his own birth. Then early in the morning, the Brahmanas, along with Rama and Lakshmana, departed, quickly arrived at the banks of Ganga in the afternoon and took rest. Rama, the descendant of Kakutstha, along with his younger brother, accepted the sacrificial remnants from that place, considering them to be like nectar. And for the clear understanding of the saints, the Almighty Lord inquired from the sage, from whom did this river Ganga come, and how did she come to earth? Questioned thus by Lord Rama, the sage spoke for the welfare of the saints. There were two wonderfully qualified daughters of Himavan, the presiding deity of the Himalayas: Ganga, who became a celestial river, and Uma, who became Lord Shiva's wife. Lord Shiva engaged in conjugal pastimes with Uma. Even in a celestial 1,000 years, neither of them experienced defeat. When their conjugal activities were stopped by the demigods frightened of his potent semen, Lord Hara discharged his semen on Ganga, fire, and earth. That potent semen, which could not be sustained by anyone and which grants prosperity to the saints, joined together and became the beautiful boy Skanda, the beloved son of Lord Shiva and Parvati Devi. Learned authorities call him Kartikeya, Agneya, and Gangeya, whom Indra appointed as the commander in chief of his army and destroyed his enemies. Shiva and Uma then situated themselves in austerity for the satisfaction of Lord Vasudeva. Such is the nature of that great goddess Uma. Now hear about Ganga's descent to this world. Formerly, at the time of placing his 3 steps over the universe, Ganga, the water that had come from the disc wielding Lord's foot, was born from Himavan for some reason, but she returned to the heavenly planets. So, when Vamana had pierced the coverings of the universe, Ganga was born, uh, and then she became the daughter of Himavan for some reason, but then she returned to the heavenly planets. There was a king named Sagara, a great devotee of Lord Narayana. He was prior to all of you in your dynasty. Formerly, he had engaged in austerities with a desire to have sons. From one wife, he had a son named Asamanjasa, who was destined to generate progeny. From another, he had 60,000 powerful sons. That one son, who himself had a son, was a yogi, frightened of material association. Pretending to be cruel and being rejected by his father, he went to the forest. So Asamanjasa pretended to be cruel. So he used to kill the boys with whom he was playing, but that was just a pretense so that his father can just throw him out to the forest because he was a devotee and he was frightened of material association. Okay, so says a yogi. Once Sagara was initiated into an Ashwamedha sacrifice. Having become invisible, Indra stole his sacrificial horse. Searching for the sacrificial horse, Sagara's other sons dug the earth up to the ocean. Thus, the ocean became a son of Sagara. The princess considered the supreme source of illumination, Lord Kapila, to be the one who had stolen the sacrificial horse and rushed to kill him, like fireflies rushing towards fire. So they saw Lord Kapila sitting there, and the horse was nearby there. So they thought Kapila had stolen the sacrificial horse, and in madness they went, rushed to kill him. The fire that emanated from Lord Vasudeva's eyes, when opened, burned them immediately to ashes. So this Lord Kapila's ashram was at Rasatala, lower planetary systems. That is no wonder for Lord Hari, who destroys everything at the time of creation. Searching for the horse, Amshuman, the son of Asamanjasa, reached Lord Kapila's ashram. He offered obeisances unto the Supreme Lord and said, O Lord, please forgive us for our offense. Desirous of benefiting Amshuman, the Lord spoke these peaceful words that showered nectarian mercy. Dear child, take the sacrificial horse. Quickly bringing the horse to his kingdom, the young and great Amshuman of peaceful mind successfully completed the sacrifice inaugurated by his grandfather. Indeed, a peaceful man can be courageous and powerful. In order to send his uncles who had died on account of offending the Brahmana Lord Kapila on the path to heavens, he executed austerities on the order of the best of the Dvijas to bring about the descent of Ganga. So the best of the Dvijas here refers to Garuda, the king of birds. Birds are Dvijas, as well as to Lord Kapila, the best of the twice born Dvija. Garuda ordered Amshuman to execute austerities to bring Ganga. That Garuda ordered Amshuman to execute austerities to bring Ganga is clear from Valmiki Ramayana. While Lord Kapila's instruction to Amshuman to bring Ganga is recorded in Srimad Bhagavatam. When that king died without accomplishing that purpose, and when his son Dilipa also died without accomplishing that purpose, Dilipa's son Bhagiratha situated himself in austerity for that purpose. King Bhagiratha met Ganga by the mercy of Lord Brahma, but he could not find a person in the 3 worlds to withstand her while she was falling from the heavenly regions. Only after satisfying Lord Hara, the best of the Vaishnavas fit to withstand Ganga, who emanates from the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu, did he cause that river to descend to this earth through austerity. Having led her, who was as white as a pearl necklace, whose movement was astonishing, and who had become Janhu's daughter, King Bhagiratha sent his forefathers to the heavens by sprinkling her water on their bodies. O Rama, so pleasing to our minds, it is not astonishing that this Ganga, constantly associating with Lord Hari's lotus feet, destroys even great contamination. For hearing about, contemplation upon, and glorification of Lord Vishnu lead to the supreme abode Vaikuntha. That the night passed away like a moment for the twice born obedient to the Supreme Lord, glorified in previous verses along with Lord Rama by engaging in narrations like this. So the conversations were happening and the night passed. The princes of Kosala with many sages and Vishwamitra crossed the celestial river Ganga on a boat to reach its northern bank. They entered a greatly prosperous and large city named Vaishali that was previously constructed by King Vishala and which was filled with beautiful houses. The sage recounted to that descendant of Raghu about the origins of the king of Vishala as well as his dynasty by whose members the city of Vaishali shone. He is telling about the history of king of Vishala. All of the Devas and Asuras previously churned the milk ocean. The churning rod for that activity was the Mandara mountain, and the rope was the king of serpents Vasuki. The thousand-handed supreme person of Godhead steadied the mountain by going above it as Ajita and by going below it as the merciful tortoise incarnation. So Ajita is also the form of the Lord. So he displays 1,000 arms and he holds up Mandara mountain. This is described in Srimad Bhagavatam. When the Devas and Asuras became exhausted while this was going on, Lord Ajita caught the serpent and churned the Mandara mountain, his armlets and earrings moving about. Chandra, Indra, and others, as well as a pleasing host of Apsaras, appeared from the ocean. Lord Hari, in the form of Dhanvantri, carrying a pot of nectar, also appeared. Deluding the Asuras who had stolen the nectar from Dhanvantri out of delusion, the killer of Asuras, assuming the form of a woman, Mohini, stole the nectar from them and gave it to his own devotees. Having lost her sons again in the battle between the Devas and Asuras, Diti deceived her husband and conceived a child in her womb whom Indra cut into pieces, maruts. Because Indra told those pieces, don't cry. After cutting the child in the womb into, they were named maruts and became dear to the great Indra. The Supreme Lord's devotees' opulences will certainly be super excellent. Others' opulences will be to the contrary. In this regard, instances like the above have been noticed in the scriptures. So actually, this is Diti worshipped the Supreme Lord on Kashyapa's instruction, and so by the end of her brata, which was supposed to go on for 1 year, she'd actually become a devotee. And Bhagavatam says actually the side effect of that devotion of her devotion was that her sons were not killed, even though the embryo was actually cut by Indra. So devotional service is very powerful. Just that that for whatever devotional service we are doing, we don't know what the accrued result is, because otherwise we'll become crazy and maybe become engaged in gratifying our desires. So Bhakti Devi actually doesn't display the results of our bhakti, whatever we have done so far. But actually, uh, bhakti is very powerful. So we would have accrued results. And yeah, side effects are things like this, like her sons did not die like that. Authorities say that Alambusa was very attractive among those apsaras who had appeared from the churning of the milk ocean. Vishala was born from her and Ikshvaku, your forefather. So, from Ikshvaku and Alambusa was an Apsara. Vishala was born. Having noticed the great persons who were talking thus and who had entered the city Vaishali, Sumati, the intelligent descendant of Vishala, worshipped them. Learning about the princes from the words of the Brahmana Vishwamitra, the king again honored Rama and Lakshmana, who were fit to be honored by the entire world and most handsome in the world. Having passed the night there, the descendant of Raghu left the city in the early morning and reached a forest near Mithila, where there was a mild breeze. Pointing out to another ashrama at the edge of that forest near Mithila, Vishwamitra spoke these sweet words to Lord Madhusudana. In order to stop Gautama's excessive austerity, the king of Devas, carrying out his duty to the Devas, enjoyed Gautama's wife in his ashrama here, Ahalya. The sage Gautama entered his ashrama, understood the situation, and becoming angry, cursed, "May your paramour become useless." Meaning, may Indra lose his sexual potency. O unchaste woman, may you become a stone. You will again become a woman by Rama's glance. Thus the sage, a reservoir of mercy, also provided his wife Ahalya a means to become free from this curse. So there's one nice footnote here. One might ask, the culprit Indra got over his curse and found a remedy very quickly. But Ahalya had to suffer a lot more. What is going on here? The answer is that Indra is a celestial Kshatriya and so he lost his reputation, which was quite significant for him. Ahalya, as a Brahminical wife of a sage, was expected to have performed better. She was a co partner in the crime, and so Gautama cursed both of them in a manner appropriate for them. The forefathers and devas cut out the testicles of their ram and fitted it on Indra, the king of the devas, by their mystic power. Thus he became the one with the testicles of a ram. Indra was afraid that by Gautama's austerities he would accumulate abundant pious credits by which he would seize the post of Indra. And so, for the benefit of the Devas, he wanted to make Gautama Rishi angry. And this is what he told the Devas after he was cursed by Gautama. So why did he act like this? Because he wanted Gautama to become angry. Because he became angry, so then he lost the opportunity to become Indra. Please remove the pain in the heart of great Indra, your devotee. So Indra repented that he had committed a great sinful activity. May you have mercy upon this auspicious lady, as you are a reservoir of mercy. When this was spoken by Vishwamitra, the holder of the Shanga bow happily went to Gautama's ashrama and looked at Ahalya, who had turned into a stone, with a charming glance. Merely by his glance, she became a beautiful woman, pleasing to her peaceful husband. This is not astonishing, for Lord Hari, by the playful movement of those eyebrows, the entire universe has been created. Filled with devotion, Gautama and his wife, with his wife Ahalya, fully worshipped Lord Rama of excellent character, while also honoring Vishwamitra. Then, having arrived at a vast expanse of land to the northeast, the Lord of Sacrifice saw Janaka's sacrificial arena. Along with Vishwamitra, Lord Raghava resided at a solitary and pure place not very far from that sacrificial arena filled with people. Okay, I'll stop here for today. We'll, yeah, Janaka's sacrifice and marriage of Rama, that we will see tomorrow, Lord Rama willing. Shri Valmiki Ramayana ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Namaste Gaura Bhakta Bindu ki jai. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhu bevacha. Patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnava ki jai. Hare Krishna.